Hello everyone and welcome to this week's review. I decided, since there are a lack of new theatrical releases, to finally take a look at this movie that aired on Cartoon Network some months back. While I did watch Steven Universe quite a bit during its initial seasons, I admit it's been a while since I've caught up with the series. I do think Rebecca Sugar created an imaginative animated show with unique characters, a fun setting, and heartwarming themes. So how do I feel about this feature-length adventure? This is Steven Universe, the movie. The story crafted for the movie is quite a clever one that allows Sugar and her team to explore some interesting territories with Steven and the Crystal Gems. By taking the gems back to factory setting, they are able to explore these characters in new ways and show just how far they've progressed. By watching them in this state, it's fun to see the differences in their personalities. It's also interesting contrasting this teenage Steven with the younger Steven of the show. Unsurprisingly, Steven Universe the movie is a musical, and the songs are really good. The introductory number does the job of bringing us back, and also allows newcomers to be immediately acquainted with the characters. The other songs are quite nice too, the villain song being able to immediately establish her while also being pretty catchy. More on her later. With a movie based on a television show, you expect it to go for something big and grand. The stakes are certainly there, but Sugar curiously makes Steven Universe the movie a grounded affair, as most of it is spent on Earth. And while there is a threat that is constantly breathing down Steven's neck, most of the runtime is spent on him problem-solving and trying to figure out how to bring back the gems he knows and loves. And I think that works really well. Even if Steven Universe the movie does feel like a somewhat longer episode of the show, it does move at a good clip. The animation stays rather consistent with the show. Often with these sorts of movies, even if they are made for television or go direct to video, they try to give the characters extra shadows and give an added depth to the backgrounds. Steven Universe the movie does a little bit of that, but not to the extent of other films of this ilk. Whenever I watch a movie based on an animated show, I wonder to myself whether the studio should have gone theatrical with it. I think Steven Universe the movie was well suited for television though, and that's definitely not a bad thing. Now I want to discuss the part of the movie that really stood out to me and left the biggest impression. The villain. The turns taken with Spinel are really inventive, and she becomes an incredibly well-developed character. You completely understand her motivations, her desires, what led her down this path, and yes, there's even some sympathy there. Even calling her a mere villain does not seem entirely accurate, as there's a bit more to Spinel than her plot against the gems. When she makes certain decisions, the film makes absolutely clear why she interprets the things said to her, and her actions made towards her. I also have to praise Spinel's design and animation. She is obviously inspired by 1930s cartoon characters, and the animators did such a good job of her movements. She gets some really great scenes with Steven, which highlights one of the strengths of the series, which was seeing the various ways Steven would deal with adversaries using his own unique thought process. In conclusion, Steven Universe the movie is a more than satisfying 82-minute story for the Crystal Gems. It's clear how much love Rebecca Sugar has for the characters she has created. Even though it has been a while since I watched the show, I was nonetheless hooked and was able to quickly get into the movie. The stakes are there, the characters are well defined, and we get a scene-stealing turn from a new gem. If you've enjoyed Steven Universe in the past and you noticed it's going to be airing on Cartoon Network, I would recommend tuning in. For those who have seen Steven Universe the movie already, let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you for watching this week's review, and I'll see you next time.